What's up, guys? Welcome to B Sports Picks. So yesterday we had a 6-2 day. The day before that was a 5-2 day, and then we've been having a great month. I think only 1 or 2 days we've had losing days, but the overall winning picture has been great. A lot of that I attribute to this new tool that I created here. Is called a Sharp Line Monitor. It's inside the Sharp Edge. If you don't have access to this, make sure you get you get access to this for 7 days for free with the Discord. So if you want to check that out, go to the link in the description. Anyways, the Sharp Line Monitor, what this does, you can see right here, the initial run was yesterday at 9:30 p.m. and the last update was today at 8:48 a.m. So what this is doing is literally going out and scraping the odds from Pinnacle, which is the sharpest book, and then it's updating every hour. On top of that, it's going to start doing other stuff as well as like for example here, it's breaking down. It's looking at the line move, and then on top of the line move, it's actually whenever there's a strong line move, it actually goes out and does the research based on why it thinks that it's happening. So one example I'll give you is Atlanta is G Holmes right here compared to Paddock. So it's telling you the lean that Atlanta should be winning by 3 runs. And the reason is the pitcher. Okay. Same thing with the Dodgers. I don't like this one, but it's just telling you to take a look at it. And then Tampa Bay because of Nick Martinez. So, anyways, this goes back to the initial thing, which is the sharp line movement. Okay. What's up, man? Good morning. So the sharp line movement is the first thing that we're looking at here. You can see, I'm not going to get into all these details here, but basically it's telling you if this is red, what this means is that it's not going in any of the favor of any of them. So it's not going in their favor. This is just blank. And then this one, you can see right away, the Guardians. I didn't even see this earlier today. It popped up just now. So if I click into this, you can see it opened up at a 112 and it's at a 123. So that's actually dropping in the favor of Cleveland, because in sportsbook, the worse the line gets, it's actually the better for the team, because the favorite is becoming more favorite. So the Guardians is something that just popped up. I had not seen that. And now look at the Rays. It started 169 and went to 175. So it went down all the way to 180 and then it went back up to 175. Let's see what else. The Marlins. You can see the Marlins went from a 110 to a 104, so they're actually becoming better underdogs. White Sox is only 2 points. I'm not going to touch it. And then we got the Yankees. It went up 4 points. I'm not going to touch it. And then the Phillies. So the Phillies only went one point. So once we have all that information, so the one I'm going to be looking at is Atlanta. So right here you can see the sharp line moves. It's actually telling you basically the same ones that I was looking at. Actually not the same ones, but Marlins went from underdogs at a 1.5 to a -1.5. So I'm sorry, +1.5 to a -1.5. So they went from underdogs to favorite. That's already 2 confirmation that the line movement is going in the Marlins' favor. Again, guys, if you want access to this tool, it's free for 7 days, and you get access to the Discord as well. So Marlins, Red Sox, Padres, and Blue Jays, and the Brewers. So all of those guys went from underdog to favorite on the spread. The spread is not tracked like the money line as much, but it is saying that they shifted from underdog to favorite. All right, and this one is saying this is going to be a reverse line move. That's why you see this reverse line move tag over here. And what this is telling you is that they started at an 8.5 and they went down 0.5 point. But the reason it's a reverse line move is because there's 90% of the money, or I'm sorry, 90% of the bets, 90% of the money is coming in on the over, yet the line is going down. Same thing here, the Cubs and the Cardinals, the money and the percentage, they're both going up, but then the line is going down. All right, so I'm going to show you guys one play that I do like, which is over here. It's going to be in baseball. Before I show you the play, guys, let me just show you. Yesterday, I did give away this one, which was the White Sox, and they won 6-2. I also had the Braves, and then I had the Blue Jays on plus money. And then we also had a props bet over here and a no run first inning over here. So 5-2 day. And I'm sorry, 7-2 day. I don't know why I don't have the other two screenshots, but it was a 7-2 day overall. The Mets did not come up for me. I'm not going to take a look at that today. So let me go back over here. So I'm going to go in here, sharp edge, and the Atlanta right here, 5.5. So let me just kind of go through this projections here, and then I'll go through the projections, and then I'll give you the play that I like. So Atlanta right here is 5.5 versus 4.5. So right away it's green. It's saying Atlanta should win. I've already showed you that the line shifted also. Pittsburgh is supposed to win. Padres is supposed to win. What else? The Rays are supposed to win. The Mets are supposed to win. So that answers your question right there. That's a projection of 7.5 under instead of the 8. So the projections are lower than the 8. I'm not going to go deeper into that game, but Cubs are supposed to win. The Tigers are supposed to win. The Rangers are supposed to win. Astros are supposed to win. Giants, Seattle Mariners, and then the Dodgers. So the Dodgers and the Phillies are actually 4-4. So I'll tell you the ones I like, and then I'll break down the Braves. So I like the Braves today. I like the Padres today. Actually, I'm skipping the Padres. I like the Rays. I like the Marlins. I like the Cubs. What else? I was looking at the Yankees, but it didn't convince me. And then there was a contradiction in the Dodgers game, but I like the Phillies there because of the pitcher. But let me break down this one here. Atlanta Braves versus the Reds. So right here it's saying it's partly sunny. No wind was going to be affecting it. Later today, it's going to give you a sharp verdict. So what happens is that there's other data that it's waiting for. And once that's processed, it comes in here and it actually gives you a verdict of what should be winning. Okay, so money line is started at 140, went to 145. This is a little more, it's like a timestamp instead of the actual line move that I was showing you. So anyways, Atlanta did go in their favor. It's going in their favor. 84% of the bets, 95% of the money, 56% win probability. So they should be winning. The Reds in their last 15 games have only won 4 games. So they're only winning 26% of their games for the Reds. Now, this is where the big, huge difference is in the starting pitchers. If we look at the starting pitchers here for Atlanta, you got Grant Holmes over here versus Chris Paddock. Chris Paddock, the 2 times that he started, they lost, or he was attributed to the loss. Grant Holmes, he's got 4 wins, 1 loss. ERA is very good, 4.15 versus an 8. And then you got, what else? The versus opponent. So they're only getting 2 hits out of every 10 batters. So he's graded a B grade with almost a D- grade, almost an F grade. So just like in school, A is better, F is bad. So this guy is graded a B, and this guy's graded a D-. Okay, the bullpen is better, meaning that whenever they take out Holmes, the bullpen is much better. The relievers are much better for Atlanta than Cleveland. Okay, now the batting is a little bit better for Cleveland, but not by much. You can see the numbers here. The one thing I will tell you is in the last 7 days, Cincinnati has been better for OPS. So they're getting on base more recently, but that can change a lot based on the starting pitcher. So that has a lot to do with the starting pitcher. Pitching analysis, like I showed you, is better for Atlanta. And then just look at the overall grade is B+, A+, B+, 56% win probability. And then right here is very, very important. It's saying that Cincinnati should be batting in the 9th. It says yes, a -210. And what this means is that the books think that Cincinnati will be losing in the 9th inning. So they're going to have to bat in order to try to win the game. So that's a good piece of information. That's why it's green, meaning that the home team should be losing. So it's going to be in Atlanta's favor. I'm not going to get into all the rest of these details, but you can kind of break down exactly step by step which thing is better than the other. And then this is another thing is already too early, but later today this thing gets populated. with all these deeper research. It's this entire deeper research is broken down into cards. So I'll show you once I get that done. Once it's done, but overall, I like Atlanta. I'm taking them on the money line. And like I said, there's a few other teams that I do like that I shared already. All right, guys, let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'll be hopping off here. The Mets, that did not come up for me at all. So I don't want to give you false information. I can just show you um, what comes up, but I don't have any one way or the other on it. I'm not touching this game. Actually, I'm taking the Marlins. So I'll let you know that. The over-under started at a 7. It's still at a 7. 80% of the bets are on the over. 79% of the money's on the over. In the last 15 games, they've gone 11-4 on the over. This is a very good pitching over here. I would not touch this game. These are two of the top players for pitching, so it's already a contradiction on the over and the under. I wouldn't touch this over-under at all. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much, man. I appreciate you all. Let's have a great day. And like I said, we've been doing very good. So if you want access to the VIP, make sure you check that out. I'm doing 50% off on a 1 week. You got to use the code word Beast Week, and the link is in the description under VIP 1 week. Also, if you want the Sharp Edge tool that I just been walking through and the Discord, you get 7 days for free on that. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let's have a great day.